ZC Classics. It's currently the 23rd of December, but this video will probably be going out after the big day, so hope you had a good Christmas. Hope you're enjoying your holiday break. This one's going to be a little bit different, this content. This is actually going to be my own car, because if anyone knows me, they'll know my own car only gets dragged out over the Christmas period, and I'll get, if I'm lucky, a couple of days to come down to workshop and work on my own car. I don't do any customer cars. Today's the last day for customer cars, so I've wrapped everything up, had to move around and unearthed my Mk2 Escort. I'll show you what the current state is and what I've got planned for over Christmas. So here it is, my currently very tired looking 1980 Mk2 Escort 1.3L. Anyone who knows me will know this car. It used to be a ratty 4-door Mk2 Escort with a Pinto turbo, welded diff, some 8x13-inch alley caps. It was painted in NATO green with some shark teeth painted on the side. It was just a ratty bit of fun, which I did have a lot of fun in. Got magazine featured. It was relatively fast. Built a Pinto turbo for it, which is a standard 205 EFI Pinto with some two-wheel drive YB pistons, some uprated injectors and Fiesta turbo management. And it ran, it went okay. I don't know what power it made, because we managed to get it to a rolling road and the fuel reg failed, so we never actually got a power run out of it, but it was quick for what it was. It went well. But I sold the car back in I think 2012 maybe, I forget. It passed through a few hands, disappeared, and I instantly regretted it, wanted to buy it back, and it took me, I think it was 9 years in total, and I finally found it and bought it back. It was a 4-door shell. That was it. Everything else was gone. It was a shell with a bonnet, boot, doors, like a wiper motor, steering column, just a handful of bits, but yeah, everything else was gone by that point. So I bought it back, and the intention was to build a nice, clean Mk2 Mexico lookalike with a Pinto turbo in it, and you know, all that bump. I've since changed my mind, because now you can buy a Zakspeed Group 5 kit, and I've always loved them. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So over Christmas, I'm going to, as you can see, there's no roof skin. I cut the roof off it because it had a pop-up glass sunroof. That was never going to stay anyway. It needed a roof skin. I cut off the inner and outer rear quarters and sourced a brand new set of Higgins reproduction 2-door inners and a set of genuine second-hand outers, which do need some work, but them being genuine, got a better chance of them lining up than putting some copy ones on there. I'm not saying the copy ones are bad, but what I'm saying is there's more chance of things lining up. So over Christmas, what I'm going to do, well, go back a bit, what I've basically done is tech screwed everything together. So the panel gaps are good. Ignore that door at the minute, it's not lined up, it's not even shut. But I'm quite happy with all the panel gaps now. So what I'm going to do over this Christmas is just unscrew the rear quarter, unscrew the inner quarter. I need to put a drop sill in this side, and I also need to put a tank well in. Once the inner tank well goes in the drop sill, then I can weld the inner rear quarter panel in, and then potentially outer rear quarter. But I'm not going to get as much time as I'd like on it this Christmas, so just baby steps. I'll get done what I get done. But the way I see it, anything is progress. It's a bit of a mess inside. I've just been using it to throw parts in. So yeah, that's my plan for over Christmas. So believe it or not, that is actually a Mk2 Escort. Originally a 4-door, part converted to 2-door. Everything's just tech screwed in place, all going to be welded in place. But before I can do that, there's some rust I've got to deal with. So like I say, I started by pulling the inner outer quarter off, inner quarter off. I was going to put a drop sill in it at the back, and then weld the inner quarter panel on, and then found some rust in the back floor. Well, it was a little bit of rust and some really bad repairs. Basically, all down the inner sill was just plate on top of plate on top of plate, and it was all bent, and yeah, it was a mess. Now, the rest of the floors under the car are actually really good. It's had some floor pans welded on top in the front, but when I had the car up on the ramp, the floor pans underneath need some little repairs, so it doesn't warrant having a full floor. I don't see the point. The chassis are original on the car, they've never been welded. The floors have had some welding, some plates welded inside the car, not underneath. So yeah, I'll just make do with this floor pan. It's not what everyone else would do. Everyone else would probably cut the floor out, put a brand new floor in it, but I haven't got the budget for that, so I'm just making do with what I've got. I've actually got a full floor of Mk2 Escort, which is good in some places, bad in others. I drilled that out a couple of years ago out of left-hand drive Mk2 Escort with the aim of using bits out of it for this car. So I've just been unpicking it, cleaning some bits up. Apart from sort of pits in there and some little pinholes there, it's actually quite good metal. So cleaned it up, and that's what I'm up to. Chop the old metal work out, I'll drop that in, plug weld it in place, make it good, get some primer on it, and that'll be that job done. Like I say, I haven't got the budget to be spending tens of thousands on panels. Sadly, it's my own car, I don't get paid to do this. I'm not sponsored by anyone yet, unless anyone wants to sponsor me with panels and send me some over, I'll be more than happy. But yeah, if it was an RS2000 or a Mk2 or, you know, something worth a great deal of value, then yeah, I'd be doing it differently. But it's not. It's a 1300L, 4-door converted to 2-door. It's a budget build, and it's my own, so why not? And this way, I'm honing my skills, so when I am working on everyone else's car, I'm doing a nice job. So yeah, next job is weld this in place, and then I can move on to the drop cell. So the workshop's a mess, I'll have to get dealt with another time. Managed to get that big piece welded in. And you can see it, but there's a drop sill welded in as well. That drop sill was the initial job, and it turned out to be much more, as they do. But they're welded in now. I've just placed the inner quarter on with some screws to get it lined up. I'll have to, before that can go in place, I'm going to have to weld in seatbelt mounts. I don't know if it'll even bother in the back, because it's never going to have a back seat. I'm debating as well just cutting this tub off on this line all the way around, because the car's going to be getting Group 5 arches. I don't see the point in trying to make this quarter fit with that tub on if it's coming off anyway, so we'll see. I'll debate that one. Yeah, some progress. At this rate it should be done for about 2050 if I'm lucky. But yeah, I really wanted to get the drop sill done and the tank well cut out and a new one put in, but obviously finding a bit more rust in the floor was a big setback, so unpicking all that, and you know, it just had time. And I did only have, I had the 28th and I had today, so yeah, less than ideal. Would like to have got a bit more done, but at least I'm starting to weld some panels back in, which is always good. For a long time I've just been removing metal work, as you can see, because there's not a great deal left of the metal work. But yeah, feels good to finally start welding some metal back in. So yeah, next job will be put them seatbelt mounts in the front, a bit of trimming, drill any holes that need drilling for plug welding, and then weld the inner quarter in. So that'll probably be next Christmas. Just kidding, I managed to get it welded in. I've got the seatbelt mounts welded in, that one. I put the one back in the rear pillar, not because I need it, just because I figured it'll add a bit of strength. Got the tank bracket welded in. Again, don't know if I'll be using it, but it's just a little bit more strength. The lower seatbelt mount, the seatbelt mounts on the sill, And yeah, got the inner quarter welded in. It's all plug welded, capacity shell supports, the roof channel. I've seen welded the other side of this, and all one's grinding down. I've ground the welds down the outside, the other ones are missed. And to be honest with you, I've missed these plug welds here, and there's still a panel. There's the jack support that needs welding onto here, so I'll need to grind them down, weld the jack support on, and then in theory the outer quarter can go on. But it feels good to actually weld some structure back into the car. I also got the inner tank, excuse me, inner tank well all cut out. There will be, sadly there's a bit of weld a bit further in. I don't think the tank well comes in that far, so I'll have to do a repair here. But the tank well's cut out, ready for a new one to go in. Yeah, that's where I'm up to. It's actually moving along a little bit. It doesn't look like it, but there's some progress. I did chop off the outer tub because, again, I didn't see the point in fitting that. You know, be a bit awkward working around it, trying to do a tank well and stuff like that. It's never going to stay anyway. It's getting tubbed on the rear. It's actually getting 15-inch inner tubs as well. Excuse me. But I've just kept the original tubs for the time being, just to keep some structure in the car. But yeah, that's my progress. It's not a massive amount, but it's getting somewhere. It's getting some work done. That's the main thing. Gives me a little bit of a enthusiasm boost, if you like, towards the car. So you have it with the quarter just gripped into place with some mole grips. I don't think the panel gaps are too bad actually. So there's a bit more tweaking to do, but generally line up quite well. I'm not too concerned about this overlap because the Higgins panels are sent with, so this has only got like a, say for instance, a 10mm return. The Higgins is more like 15 to 20mm. So I'm not too concerned about that. The only concern I have is this shape here. I have been warned that the pressings aren't very good, so this is going to have to be heated up and pressed to be made into the right shape. I've been warned about this before by one of my mates. He's used them before. He's done similar conversions and had the same problems. The boot, there's no springs on the boot, so there's nothing holding it up. There's also no boot rubber, so a bit of tweaking on the boot lid. There's nothing gripping the quarter on the back anyway, so yeah, once the boot springs are on, boot lid wants to come towards the back panel a bit anyway, sat in. So I think, yeah, I'm quite happy. Need the back balance in there. I'm not cutting that back panel off. I'm putting a copy back panel on there because they're terrible. They are really, really bad. There's always problems around this area. So I'd sooner just bare metal this, put a back balance in it, make this right, because they just don't fit. It just isn't worth it. I could definitely make that panel better, fit better than the copy panels, I know that. But yeah, generally that's what I'm up to. That's probably going to be it for the foreseeable future, because even as we speak I'm dealing with more and more customers trying to get cars built, so sadly my own car has to sit on the back burner. But yeah, some progress. I feel better about it. It's got some metal work welded in. It's the most work it's had in a long time. But watch this space. I am going to try and get some nights, you know, get some work done on this. Just keep it moving, because it does make me feel better. And I can see bit of adjustment there. Yeah, getting there very, very slowly. So that's it for this update, sadly. I'd like to have got a lot more done, but hey ho, it is what it is. I will try and get some more content on this car in the future. providing I can work on it around other cars. Like I say, I'll try and get some work, you know, some nights on my own car this year instead of just coming back and doing customer cars. It's only fair, really, I suppose. But yeah, that's it for this update. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and please like, subscribe, comment. You know, I've had lots of people commenting recently, and I try my best to respond to everybody. I'm grateful for all the input towards the channel. So yeah, keep going. I'll see you in the next video.